What is going on, everybody? Did you know I pressed record?
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go that fast.
Wait,
though.
it goes 5, 4, 3, 2. I got a new chair, so I didn't.
Guys, look, it has a headrest.
Well, welcome to the
and
show,
I can
everybody.
Now recline. This is so nice. It's so comfy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Nick Valley.
My name is Jonah Doc, and I.
Oh God, this is awful. And this is
Rev Rock
Revolution. Okay, welcome back. I don't have the energy for that anymore. I feel like the last couple weeks you've been trying. You can have it, okay? I give up. All right, I'm not gonna sustain you with that intro. So it's all yours. My hair looks so weird. What the hell is going on here right now? I gotta fix this. Ugh.
My internet is so bad that it's so blurry I couldn't even tell that there was your hair was messed up.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll see later. You can watch this back. Welcome to our show, everybody. You were not expecting. I wasn't expecting the show to start like that either.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Welcome. He had no idea I pressed record. I feel like I need to do that to you every once in a while, just to like spice up the energy on this.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Jonah that I watched the show, but my mic fell. Our budget is great, right? We are so planned and thought out.
A budget of $0.
I was watching old clips of the show back recently. I was just telling Jonah before we started recording. Who knows? Maybe I was recording then. He has no idea. But I was just telling him. Imagine, that would be great. I was just telling him. Again, and then he quits, and we have no more podcasts. No, I'm not going to jinx it.
He'll be on the
Jinx it. See what he
Patreon
did there?
if we ever make one.
Damn, we are on a roll today. Oh my God. I was just saying how I was watching our old episodes back, and I feel like I want to bring back that energy of season 1 a little bit, because I feel like it was fun and exciting and fresh and new, and like we haven't seen each other in a bit. We've been very busy, and I feel like now is a better time than ever to bring that back to our show. I know people watch this show now every week, and we love seeing that. We didn't post an episode last week. We apologize. I got some very interesting messages about that. Like, yo, what the fuck? This is what I do when I, take my daily shit. No one said that. But people did. Someone did say to me, I listen. We do have regular fans. Jonah, you want to hear the craziest thing? Someone told me that they listen to our show when they work out.
That's crazy, dude. That's a bonus. Dude, I listen. That's honestly an honor. I listen to podcasts sometimes when I work out. So it's like, we can do that for someone else.
But Jonah, I just want to say this. I feel like we're the wrong podcast for that, though. Like, you don't want to be lifting weights and like start listening to our show, because you're gonna laugh and drop that shit on you, low. You know what I mean?
That is a little bit dangerous.
Like a safety hazard.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of self-control not to laugh with us while you're working out.
Yes, we're just too stupid like to not indulge. You know what I mean? But that's the beauty of this show, like, to me at least. So yeah, I mean, I get it. It's pretty cool. I do kudos to you for that. I think that's super cool. Yeah, no, I'm with you though. That is awesome. It's been a second, like I said, since we've seen each other. It feels like every time, the last couple times we tried to, like, we just kept missing each other.
We're so busy. Careers going good.
Yes, everything's been going great. I'm looking forward to the catch up here. I know Jonah's been up to a lot. I've been up to a lot. Jonah, do you want to start? Do you want me to start? What do you want to do?
Let's have you start. I feel like I'm always the one that starts.
All right.
So here, let's hear what you've been up to the past couple of weeks.
Well, you always start because I always take up our intro by just rambling. But people want to hear more of me, then I guess we'll give it to them. I don't know what they're smoking, but I'm all for it. Listen, I've been up to a lot of stuff the last couple weeks. It's been crazy. I was telling Jonah, since the actors' strike went away, it's been, especially now, as of late, this new year, There's been a lot of great opportunities for me. I've booked some cool stuff, like I said. I've been up for a lot of auditions recently for a lot of theater work. So it's just been a lot of callbacks, audition tapes, in person callbacks, dance callbacks, singing callbacks, acting callbacks.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. And then
That's
on top of all
awesome.
that, making all of the new music with the writing, the recording, practicing instruments, producing, getting these mixes
Mixing.
out there,
Yeah.
trying to come up with social media content as you. So it's that artist life and then that actor life. And then I've been working on some really cool projects, something really, I don't know what's going to come of it, but I just started developing something recently I'm really excited about. I'm going to tell Joan about it more probably after we stop filming, or the Patreon if that starts existing. If you want, okay, if you guys want to, if you want a Patreon, let us know in the comments. But if this video gets 10,000 likes,
likes.
what a callback, Jonah. That was the name of our first episode.
Oh yeah, that was.
What a full circle moment.
It is a full circle moment.
You know what I love? Do you know what I
What?
love? And I feel like we embody this so well. I saw something the other day that is so accurate and so fucking true. But I feel like we embody that so much because the amount of callbacks that we do on this show when it's only existed for like less than a year.
Yeah,
But I was
we
good.
do so many callbacks, have so many reoccurring jokes.
We haven't even been around
perfect.
that long. Like we're calling back to something we said 4 weeks ago. Like it's pretty funny. But you have to understand, in our life and our timeline, 4 weeks feels like a year ago.
Feels like forever.
And a year ago feels like 4 weeks ago. That's just how time works when you're like a creative artist person. Like long time feels like a short time ago. Short time feels like a long time ago. Time is like is nothing but a construct. Like, you know what I mean? Like
For real,
it does
yeah.
not really exist when you're an artist.
Yeah,
Like, some
artist
nights I'll
time is
pass out
something
at-
that like
Yeah.
you won't people don't understand how fast paced it is and how much you have to do while it's so fast paced.
Dude, it's nuts. It's like some days I'll crash at like 6:30 p.m. on the couch. And like some days I'll be up till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Like our lives just don't make any sense.
it doesn't.
but
But
yeah,
hella fun.
It's the best. That's why we do it. And I think people enjoy watching it. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is like I saw something that said, speaking on that callback, that Gen Z is the first generation that is nostalgic for a time that they never lived in.
Oh, that's trippy.
Let-
Yeah, that's
let me
totally us.
Let me
though.
explain. Let me explain, because think about this. We're the first generation that, like, if we want to watch something from like the past, like 30, 40 years ago, like we could, 40 years ago was the 80s. We could go on YouTube and like watch all of that and experience, and like we feel like we lived through that period if that's the kind of stuff that we consume and like the culture that we're a part of. Now think of it this way. In the 80s, 40 years ago was the 40s. The people in the 80s had no interest and didn't watch stuff from the 40s.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's true that we are the first generation that is nostalgic for a time that we never lived in.
I agree
It's
with
pretty
that.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Yeah, because we have content through, on YouTube through 80s, 90s, even I feel like people have even
70s,
uploaded clips, yeah,
60s.
from 70s, 60s, and like, yeah, that's trippy to think about. YouTube is kind of like the history book now for throughout time. It documents
Yeah.
everything, and people can
It's weird.
relive everything.
It's wild. Like if you think about it, like I don't even know like how to put it. I feel like time always, like especially the last century, everybody just kept moving forward and like, okay, new technology, new thing, new music, new whatever. Everybody just kept moving forward, right? Didn't really look backward. And then all of a sudden, like the mid 2010s to like now, all people have done is like it went from this forward tunnel, just like this tunnel vision of like no moving backward, just move forward, to like, and it's like this vast landscape where you can look right, left, forward, backwards, diagonally. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like just like
Yeah.
time is everywhere now.
Yeah.
Speaking to that, like time is just everywhere, and our generation, because we're so involved in the internet and like we're born into that, are more involved in that than like anyone else. So like we feel as though we lived in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, now all at the same time,
Yeah.
because that's how we experience reality.
Yeah, that's trippy. What I feel like that since us humans have been thinking so forward throughout time, and now we have access to everything. I feel like people are starting to realize that it's not all about moving forward and on to the next thing, on to the next thing, but that some things in the past were still better than they are today, even though it's technically progressed. I don't know if that makes any makes any sense when coming across.
Jonah,
Like,
makes perfect sense.
yeah, like
You know what I just said to my
music.
dad?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and I want to hear what you're getting at, because I totally, I'm with you and I'm bored, and I think I know where you're going with this. I was just gonna say, I looked at my dad the other day, and you know, like sometimes we've had these moments on the show too, where you just like look at me like with your mouth open, like where like just the most profound things will come out of my mouth, and I'm like, what? And you're like, do you not know what you just fucking said? You know what I mean? I don't know where it comes from. I promise I don't do acid. I'm elevated. I'm not. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm Prince. Please don't strike me down. But
I feel
God, I'm
I
such
feel
an
like
idiot.
last time you said that the episode just ended instantly and my internet cut out.
it did, right? It did. Everything just cut out. I apologize. It's a joke. What I was gonna say, and what I'm saying is, be warned for another one of those moments. I looked at my dad randomly in like the supermarket the other day. Sometimes, you know what it is? I feel like I still have the mind of a child. You know, children say the most profound things because they don't even realize what's coming out of their mouth. It's because
Yeah.
I'm still mentally 6 years old. So that's why I'm able to say these things that are so profound. It's the only explanation. But I looked at my dad in the supermarket the other day. I looked right at him and I said, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I said, we've reached a point in society where technology keeps progressing and humans don't.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. I've talked to my friends about this before, because like we've evolved so much as a species that there isn't really much more to evolve. So we're kind of like, I feel like some people are going backwards.
Some people are going
'Cause, like-
back, and then you have the other people like Elon Musk, or like the people who are all about like or AI or whatever. They're just like, okay, let's just like, we're done, so let's just like totally
Advanced
develop
technology.
and evolve like
Yeah.
technology. Yeah, it's crazy. That's wild, man. But you were saying about like music and stuff. The point you were getting at before.
Well, I was gonna say with like, cause like if you see like music, this is my personal opinion. People in the audience, if you get offended by this, then this is just my opinion. This is
Let us
what I
know in the
believe.
comments below.
Yeah, let us know what. yeah. If you don't like my
Yeah.
opinion, let us know in the comments, and we'll have an argument, and then it will help push the podcast more. So
And Jonah knows I will argue with them. So
yeah,
I'm
I'll
looking
join in
forward
the
to hearing
argument
this.
too.
Jonah with a hot take. Jonah, I've been waiting for the day where you say something wildly controversial.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well,
that's always my hot seat.
Yeah, I feel like there's like music, and people are like people for a long time were like looking for the next thing, and like kept evolving, and it got to a point where it kind of evolved back onto it, like to a point where it got really dull. We've kind of talked about this before. It got really dull, very bland. It's kind of all turned into the same thing, same patterns and everything. It just not interesting, very boring. And when like the
And
80s
no matter what
and
genre of music or whatever it is.
yeah, no
Yeah.
matter what genre it is, it all seems to follow this. It all evolved into the same pattern, and yeah, it kind of just started sucking. Yeah, and I feel like
That's what
music.
happened with hair metal. That's why grunge exists.
Yeah, and
And
so
I feel like yeah. No,
Oh,
I want you to keep going with this because I have a great point about this in a second.
okay, like because like we've mentioned before how in the 80s like every single genre was booming and every single genre had good music, and even in the 90s and stuff as well, and then just because it kept evolving, then it got all bland. It's like I feel like music now is starting, like people are starting to realize that and starting to go back to the like vibe of the
I wanted to
80s and
say something about
90s.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and people are starting to realize, oh, we could do more than what we have right now. We could go back to that energy, that vibe, and it's not a bad thing. People are actually nostalgic and craving that sort of style. So, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
Yeah. You just led me. Jonah, I just want to say, I don't know if our show is connected to something above, but our segues couldn't be more perfect. Like, you just
Perfect
brilliantly, not even like planned. None of this is planned, by the way. We don't plan our show. Jonah hasn't yet to even talk about what he's been up to. Like,
We didn't
don't-
have a plan
we
before
really
that. We
don't
kind of
script-
just clicked play.
We don't script this. Well, clearly, he didn't even know we were recording. But I just want to say, and I'm ruining it right now by pointing this out and acknowledging it, but this segue couldn't be more perfect, and we didn't. It's just Jonah and I. It's the bromance. We are
We're
connected.
connected.
We're one. We are one. Our minds are one. It's the musical connection is real. Listen, what I was gonna say, and it ties perfectly into what you were saying. And it goes back also to that nostalgic for a time we never lived in. I feel like since like the mid 2000s to like now, I feel like this is a real thing that didn't exist before, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think people, and I would love to like ask people's opinions of people who lived through this time, but my mom kind of said something along these lines, like of that nostalgic point, and of that point you were saying, it's like in the 80s, people didn't like fashion or music, like didn't go, oh, 60s is in, doo-wop is in right now.
Yeah.
But like in the 90s, people didn't go like, oh, like hair is in. You know what I mean? Like we're like the first, like we just keep reusing old shit. It's like everybody's just like out of like innovation at this point. And then going back to what you were saying, this is a double, and then I want to get your thoughts on this, and then obviously we'll go into what you've been up to, because I want to hear about this. But go into that point. It's like, think about, and I just had a conversation with somebody about this. It's the same thing that happened with hair metal in the 80s that's kind of happening with trap rap right now. Rick Beato, who I'm going to make it a goal to get Rick Beato to be a guest on this show.
That would be amazing.
That is going to be an achievement if he will put up with us for an hour. But I feel like we can like sophisticate ourselves for a little bit, because I feel like you and I both know what he's talking about, and like I feel like we'd have a great time. Like I just feel like he would get it, and what it is that everything we say. I think he'd agree, because like something he just said in this video. I think I sent you this video, but he was talking about like the trends in music from this year as opposed to last year, and like music with guitars has gone up in the last year. Rock and country has gone up, and trap rap is going down. And I think that's because got excited there, buddy.
The mics are
It's
falling
fine.
all over the place today.
This episode should be the episode of the falling mics. Yeah, no, what I was going to say is, and I think this is true, and you can tell me if you agree, but like, I think what's happening with what happened here with hair metal going into grunge, like why everybody got sick of it and getting so formulaic and basic, and just like nothing new was coming out of it, and everybody's just copying each other. I feel like the same thing is happening to that like trap, like modern rap thing. Like I feel like that's happening. People are getting sick of it and they want something wildly different, which is why music with guitar and real music and like more musical music is like making a comeback and going up.
Yeah, no,
I don't know, but you
I
can.
totally agree with that. Cause once something gets stale, people don't like the same thing over and over again. And M Shadows of
Yeah.
Avenged Sevenfold, the singer of Avenged Sevenfold, one of my favorite singers of all time. He was talking
Yeah.
about in an interview one time. I don't know if I brought this up on the podcast before, but it's
I don't know.
like audiences think they want the same thing over and over again, but if they get the same thing, then they'll get sick of it because it's not something
Yeah.
new and exciting. It's just a copy of what they had before, and their expectations of having like a second of one thing is gonna be way higher than what they'll actually receive. Like, yeah, like Appetite for Destruction, for example, Guns N' Roses. They weren't ever gonna
Yeah.
be able to write an Appetite for Destruction 2 and have the exact same thing.
No.
Which is why they changed things up.
No, but-
GNR Lies is more acoustic, down, and then Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, they
Use Your
went
Illusion
crazy.
was fucking great.
Yeah. They went crazy with the production, which I think,
And then
which
Axel
sets it
went
apart
crazy
from-
with Chinese Democracy, but we don't talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, they evolved and kicked everyone out of the band. That actually mattered.
Buckethead. He evolved to Buckethead. No disrespect to Buckethead. Buckethead's pretty cool, but I think it was a very unfortunate time that he was in that band.
Yeah, he got wrapped up in so much drama that he did not need in his life.
God, I love our little small digs and references throughout our show. It's brilliant. No, but I'm with you. I totally get what you're saying. It's like, you know who I think of? And I think also that evolution needs to happen gradually too. Like, it's true that people want what they recognize. You have to change it up so it stays interesting, but you also can't like do a 180 on people.
Yeah.
Case in point, Chinese Democracy. You can't just like become a totally different artist than like overnight than like what people are used to from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
You know who's a great there are two great examples of this and two different artists, Metallica and Michael Jackson. I had a conversation with somebody about this too. I think it might have been my dad and this guy from Australia. I did this like thing in Atlanta a couple months ago. I met this guy from Australia. We had a conversation about Michael Jackson. And we were talking about his artist trajectory. And then I was talking to my dad, the similar conversation about Metallica. But basically it was like, I'll start with Michael and then I'll use Metallica as an example too, because I know you're probably more into what I'm saying on that end. But with Michael, we were having a conversation. We were like, yeah, Michael did so much in his career and it was so diverse. But if he put out Off the Wall and then he went from Off the Wall and he just put out History as his second album, people would have been so confused. But the trajectory from Off the Wall to Thriller to Bad to Dangerous to History, like these albums, they all like, there was a cohesiveness, like there was an evolution. Like they kept something from the last record and they introduced something new. And they just kept doing that until
it
5 albums in, it's
like,
unrecognizable from the first record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I'm excited what you have to say about Metallica because I feel like you could kind of see that trajectory in the first 5 albums, where like
I was
that
just
evolution,
going to say that. I was just going to say that Metallica's discography, if you look at Kill 'Em All, right? And then that goes into Ride the Lightning. They kept stuff, but they evolved. And if you go into Master of Puppets, they kept stuff from Kill 'Em All, but they evolved. And then you go into, what is it, Justice for All, right? Is the fourth record?
and Justice. Yeah,
okay,
it's
so
the
you
most
go into Justice for All,
crazy
and they
prog
kept stuff,
thrash stuff ever. Yeah,
but they kept stuff. They kept the prog elements that they introduced in the last in Master of Puppets, but they added a new thing to it. And then with the Black Album is like they kept like their ability to like structure like songs. Like they introduced like a pop element, but like kept that thrash sound.
Yeah.
Like,
they still had good riffs.
They just kept evolving.
Until
and then of course Load, Reload, and then Saint Anger, and we can also
Metallica's the
apes
perfect.
sometimes don't always evolve. and not every species of ape evolved into humans. You know, some of them turned into rocks.
Yeah.
But but you know, that's true though. I don't know if you know how like have studied evolution before, but not every species of ape evolved into human.
Yo, yeah. I know that. Yeah, that's
And it's true.
Crazy thing.
And I think that goes with artists too. You know, like sometimes like Metallica or Michael, like they evolve, and sometimes they try to evolve, and you get like Jules, like Britney Spears album. But you know, I don't know if you know about that. That's a real thing. You should Google that.
No, I
Jules'
don't.
pop
I don't know.
album. Jewel made a pop album, and this was like her just blatantly trying to be a commercial artist. 0304. Imagine Jewel as Britney Spears.
Oh,
That's
God.
pretty much what we're talking about here. Yeah, and Jewel's great. Like Jewel is great, but like that, and that's an example of what I was just gonna say. Like you can't just like completely 180 on your audience. So yeah, I think there has to be an evolution. Wow, 25 minutes in, this has been an insightful conversation I did not expect us to have today. I have to say.
Me neither. I feel like Metallica though is the perfect example for everything we just talked about, because like it has the first 5 albums where it have perfect evolution. Then Load and Reload was just them staying the same, and that's why it got kind of stale. And then they did a complete 180 with Saint Anger and Lulu.
And then he stayed the same for some reason. And now I feel like they evolved forward again with
they went back
Death
to their
Magnetic.
older
and
sound.
then they evolved into a newer thing with Hardwired. Like, okay, this is interesting. And then with
72 seasons they're back to staying the same. Yeah, Metallica has
So
it
we'll
all,
see what
that's-
happens. Metallica's going to go one way or the other here. We're going to see what happens. They're either going to evolve and it's going to be brilliant, masterful. They're going to stay the same, or they're going to pull another Saint Anger out of there. And I would love to see a sequel to Saint Anger. I'm not going to lie. I would just love to know what that looks like.
I feel like a sequel to Saint Anger would be so commercially well, because Saint Anger 1 has become such a big meme in the metal community that everyone would listen to it.
Yeah, this is true. Everyone would want to hear it just to know what it is.
Yeah, and 2, it's be so different from anything out there, both metal, rock, and then also like pop wise, that people are like, what the heck is this?
just like Saint Anger was when it came out.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing like it before, since, or after. It's like this is unique. It's special.
It is Saint Anger.
So
It
so
is an
Saint
album.
Anger. That's the sound. It's like it's what you would expect if if homeless people started a band. That's what it would sound like, basically.
Just grabbed random
That's what
stuff.
Saint Anger should have been branded, because let's just drag all the trash cans for the drummer, and just like all the thrown out pieces of a guitar that was built by these people, and we just sent them in a studio, and like a mic that they had to put together with like everything on that record just sounds like pieces that were thrown away and like scrapped back together.
Yeah, it's their garage sound.
It's not a garage sound, it's a dumpster sound. It's a dumpster fire sound. Let's just be honest. No, Garage Inc. was their garage sound, and that was fucking great.
That was good.
Yeah, I love that Bob Seger cover on there. So good. Yeah, no, so we're 29 minutes into this episode. What have you been up to this week?
We've been. Let's see. What do I want to talk about first? First time I'm actually like planning out my thoughts on this podcast before I speak. Yeah. So
relatable.
So we have a lot of gigs coming up. We announced this last week. Here, let me pull it up so I can announce. We're gonna be playing our first shows in SoCal. We have the festival that I talked about last episode, the One Love Lunar Solar Eclipse Fest. That's going to be awesome. I don't know if this is confirmed yet. We were talking to we have like a group chat with all the bands in it and the promoter. It might be streamed internationally, so that would be cool. And like it will be like,
now
it
when you
might
say
be
stream, do you mean like professionally sound?
Yeah, professional like sound, film. Yeah, I'm
go.
super excited for this. The person who put this, the team that's putting this together, they are so into it. And as an artist that has been to shows where like they're like that are just like scrapped together, and the promoter's like, yeah, here's the lineup, you guys do everything. Like, it feels so nice to be part of an event that the team who put it on actually like cares a lot and are putting 110%. It just makes me want to. It makes me can't wait to play the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you know what it is when people give the and I think this goes back to what we were just saying, when people give the like with artists or whatever, like nowadays or whatever, like when people give more effort, it makes you want to give more effort, and it just creates the highest quality result. And I think a lot of that is missing nowadays, just in the industry. So yeah I'm with you.
It makes you put more effort and makes it more fun too. It doesn't make it seem like you're doing all the work. Yeah, but we have what weekend's that? So that's March 24th. We're playing, it's that whole weekend. We're playing on the Sunday though. If you guys want to buy some tickets, they're in our link in bio on Instagram, Shanks_official band. Yeah, and then the week after,
please do. If you live in that area, you have to go. They're magnetic live. I've never had the chance or the privilege to see them like perform in person live, but every stream I've seen is like they're unmatched. So
thank you.
Go
That means a lot. Yeah, and here I'll announce this too, because Nick has seen a lot of clips of us playing live on our YouTube. We've been posting a lot of live clips there. Yeah, I haven't really been promoting it, but I'll take a chance here to promote it. Yeah. So that'll give you an idea of what we sound like live. We have
they're great. I gotta say, I only have one request for those live videos: is I wish I could get like mic sound like from you guys.
Yeah,
because,
I want to get
you guys are
high quality
we need a live
sound.
album.
Yeah,
I need to do it. I feel like you were the kind of band.
Live album.
Oh my god, it's fucking mic.
Dude, we need a counter. Bring back the counters. The amount of time
this is our new counter. Just mic drops. Wait, but we need 2 mic drop counters, Jonah. Think about it. Just think about that. What I was gonna say is, you guys are like Kiss or like these kind of bands that did live albums. You guys have that thing. Like, I feel like you like a live album would like suit you guys very well. Mm-hmm. Like, you just have that energy and that vibe, like the kind of music you make. It should, like, you guys should be a live album band.
Yeah, I feel that, because I feel like through our tracks, it's probably my production skill. The live energy doesn't get across, and I feel like that was the same with Kiss.
Jonah, that's not production skill. It's just like, I think when you're a band that exists to play live, like, you need to get that energy across, and that's very hard to do.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to do.
Yeah, Billy Joel I just saw Billy Joel talking about when they did The Stranger, like, they worked with Phil and Ramone because they kept bringing in these producers that would hire session guys, and it would just get like, or like, just the vibe of the way they recorded it just felt so sterile, and it can get like that because when you're doing production. I told someone recently, someone asked me, and I thought it was a great question. They said, do you record to perform live, or do you perform live to record? And I said, I record to perform live. Like, the only reason I record, like, don't get me wrong, I love the studio. I think it's fun. It's exciting to create records, whatever. But, like, performing live is my favorite thing of all time. And, like, I only record so I can perform that material live. And, like, so I can, like, you know what I mean?
Same here. That's why we record. So then we have stuff to practice too.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like when that's your mentality, when you're not a kind of person that's like a studio rat, that's like obsessed, like a Charlie Puth, like who's obsessed with like recording and like production, like
Hmm.
I feel like you should do like live records and like because that's what you're about, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'm recording this so that you can experience this anytime, you know? You guys should
Yeah.
do. Oh my god, you guys should do. I know what I really want to do really badly. I want to do concert films. I've as a kid I used to watch so many concert films, and I want to do a concert film with like the audio as like an album, as a live album. So yeah, I feel like you guys would be great for something. We should do
That
that
would be
together.
cool.
Like whenever we do our super group
Yeah.
one day, we'll just have like a live concert
Yeah,
film,
we have
or like a joint
all
tour.
live.
Or if we do a joint tour or something, we'll just do a live concert
Yeah,
film
just record
and
everything.
audio.
Yeah,
Exactly.
look forward for that, you guys. Look forward to
Yes.
Jinx and Nick Valley tour, hopefully coming soon.
Oh yeah. coming to a city near you. So you guys are doing a ton of live shows. That's super exciting.
Yeah, yeah,
and
we
like
have-
I just said, a recording to play live. You guys have been recording a lot to play live. I don't know how much.
Yeah, we've been
has happened.
recording a lot. I've been focusing a lot the past couple of weeks, getting lyrics done for right now I'm just working on a small batch of 5 songs just to make the bunch a lot smaller because we wrote a ton of songs. But just these 5 songs for the next big album release whenever that will be.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking
You guys have a
summertime.
single, right? Soon.
Yeah, we have a single coming out this Friday, if I have my dates correct. Yeah, March 8th.
Woo!
Yeah, Only Human drops on
Let's
all
fucking
streaming
go!
platforms. Yeah, I'm so excited
Wait,
for that.
wait. Jonah.
Uh-huh.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah, let's. I had no idea
You're
what
welcome.
you were gonna do there.
But you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did. Yeah, but going back to Only Human, people. I've shared it with people. Nick's heard the song.
I love it.
Xavier's friends have heard it. People have been telling us this is our best song yet, which I was very
very
surprised about because I wasn't thinking about it that way. But I do love the song. It's my favorite guitar
I can't
solo.
wait for the album.
Yeah,
I just can't wait.
Same
'Cause
here.
A Jinx album. The fact that you're like, I don't know how much you want to share, like, as how much material you have going on, but I'm just like, the legacy is being built. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, that is like, to me, I don't know. I
Yeah,
look forward.
no,
I'm
I
so
feel
weird, and
that.
I think this is. I feel like, and I think you can agree with this because we're part of that generation. Like we just talked about, like the nostalgic for the past.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a weird thing, or like maybe I need to be more in the present or whatever. But I feel like I fantasize all the time about my life 20, 30, 40 years from now and looking back at my past and my whole catalog and like everything I've done and everything I will do and like the family I'll like have and like I don't know. Maybe I'm just a weird person, but I don't know. I think about this kind of stuff
I feel
a lot.
that. Yeah, well, that's what we strive for. We want to look back on
Legacy,
our life and
you know?
be proud of everything that
We
we've
want to
done.
build a legacy.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want to end up like 50 years down the line, think back and be like, oh, what a waste of time. We want to look back and be like, I'm proud of all this stuff that we did,
That
what we
accomplished,
created. Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
important that's an important skill or an important thing to think about, because I feel like when you don't think about the future enough, then it makes what you're doing in the present seem less. Because
Yeah.
what you do
I agree.
now, you're gonna look back on in the future.
Ain't that the truth, man? I mean, and there's some like Billy Joel. I just saw because I listened to his whole interview with Howard Stern that he just did recently. The last couple days, I've been listening to it in pieces, and he said something about his new song. He was talking about like, yeah, like I feel like anyone who says they don't have regrets in life is just bullshitting because like you can't go through and live a full life and like not have
You
regrets
can't.
about things that you've done. I still like I have regrets. I'm like I barely like I'm not even like a quarter of the way through my life and like I still feel like You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
still feel like I'm
Yeah,
like I
if
have
you
regrets
don't
about
have
things that
regrets,
I've
if
done.
you haven't made mistakes, well, if you don't have any regrets, then you haven't made mistakes. If you haven't made any mistakes, then there has been
You haven't
nothing
learned-
that you've learned in life, because the mistakes is
Yeah.
where you learn everything. It's just
Yes.
I'll quote Rocky. It's not about if you fall. It's about how many times you could get back up. I butchered that
He
quote,
said something
but
like that.
yeah,
He said something like that. I was gonna say, like, I think he said it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many drag to your knees, about how many times that you keep getting back up.
Yeah,
And
something like that.
I agree. Something like that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my
this
god!
episode
I made
got
a
so
joke to my
deep
friend
so
the other day.
quickly.
It got so deep. So you want me to lighten it? You want me to lighten it real quick with something that I
yeah.
take this with a grain of salt? Something that I was just reminded of. My friend said something. I texted my friend the other day randomly, and I was like, "Yo, random thought. Sylvester Stallone's daughters are so attractive, but I would be so afraid to go anywhere near them because I don't want to be. I'm so deathly afraid of their father." I just texted him out of nowhere and said that, but it's true. But it's true.
Yeah, that is so true.
I wouldn't want to fuck with that. That is not the father-in-law that you want, man. That is a guy you want to meet. You want to be inspired by. You want as a mentor. You do not want that guy as your father-in-law. I'm
Dude,
sorry.
that would be so much pressure. Dude, it'd be like Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger, like having them as your father-in-law. Dude, that would be terrifying.
Ask Chris Pratt. You know.
Yeah,
I feel like you have to have that.
I don't know what
energy.
Chris Pratt.
You have to have that energy. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen
Chris Pratt doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, have you ever seen the clip of Chris Pratt on Jimmy Kimmel where he talks about because Chris Pratt has asthma, but Arnold asked him if he's like you want to go smoke a cigar, and like you can't say no to Arnold asking to smoke a cigar, so he's like doing it, and then like he's like having an asthma attack on the side.
What the fuck? This show just went from we got so serious and so enlightened for like 2 seconds. And then it just went off the rails. So you're glad I said that, right, Jonah? Right? Did that help?
Yeah, dude, that.
Did you get a new chair? Is that what you said at the beginning of this episode?
Yeah. Well, this is how we'll end the
So did I.
end the episode. Oh wait, you got a new chair too. Nice.
New chair game, bro.
Dude, this came out of our own pocket, so not the podcast. This didn't come out of the podcast budget. Otherwise, we would have gone negative.
No, it came out of our own personal budgets. What I was gonna say, I want to hear all about this, but what I was gonna say is that just reminded me of like that. Do you remember that meme? I don't know. I thought it was dumb, but it was like a thing. It was like flannel bros. Do you remember that?
I do not remember that. I feel like that was on a time when I was not on social media.
I wasn't really either. I kind of, again, nostalgia, you know, you can look back. But yeah, no, it was from, okay, I'm going to have to tell you all about next week. Just remind me, ask me, what was that reality show you were going to tell me about? That's what you need to ask me, that exact question next week, okay? That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to put this in our Discord.
But what I was going to say is, so we have new chairs. Where did you get yours? I would love to hear all about this.
Amazon. But I have to complain a little bit about it, because I was looking for a chair. Like, I just wanted a simple upgrade, one that could recline and ones that I could move the arms so then they don't get in the way when I'm practicing guitar. And everything that I found was like over $120. It was like I spent $150 for a very simple chair. There's like mesh and it moves. This is
Jonah.
This is the age we live in. Yeah.
Jonah, I thought you didn't want this to become a political podcast. It's like you are tempting me so fucking hard right now. You are tempting me so hard to talk about economics and inflation right now. Please. 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 I'm with you, man. This thing was on sale or I wouldn't have bought it. It was like $60. It's usually like 100. Like you said, I think it was like 150 bucks. I think it was like $75. It was 75, but it's usually 150. It was on sale at BJ's Wholesale. This is true. But I want to tell you, because I was looking for something too. The chair I have is all ripped up and it's not very comfortable. And look, the arms can go up and down. So like it doesn't really, it reclines more. Yeah, so I was kind of looking for the same. See, Jonah and I were connected, right? I mean, I feel like this is like a great thing to like wrap up. We're just like, you know what's great about this chair?
What?
I want to tell you, I want to see if you notice it. Just look at the chair. Tell me if you notice what's great about this chair and me.
It's red.
It's red and black.
Dude, it's
on literally my fucking colors. It's my brand colors. Like, it couldn't be more. Yeah, it's great. We got to get you in a purple chair. Dude, Amazon. I don't know if you know about this, but I lived with my I lived with my family. That was such a weird fucking thing to say. No, but my family all through COVID bought so many things and returned so many things. Amazon returns are really easy. Like, if you just look up a HubSpot, I don't know, maybe where you are, maybe there's no HubSpot. I don't know. But if you're having issues with it, if you wanted a purple chair, it's very simple. They don't even. You want to hear the craziest thing? I just learned.
What?
We had issues with the bed or whatever that we bought from Amazon. By the way, those are great. Those bed in a box from Amazon, they are so comfortable. I'm just gonna say that. If you haven't slept on one of them, they're great and they're cheap. They're affordable too. You should look into that. Cheap mattress that's very comfortable. Bed in a box. New sponsors for Rock Revolution. Amazon Basics. Listen, what I was gonna say, not after what I'm about to say, they're not gonna sponsor us. What I was gonna say is you can return stuff on Amazon, like beds. They can't take them back because of like germs and stuff. So like you can just get your money back and like keep the bed.
Keep the bed. That's
it's a shitty thing to do, but I mean, if you were down on your luck and you needed to just return your bed, you still get to keep it.
Dude, you can't say this on a podcast. Amazon is gonna cancel us. Jeff Bezos is gonna cancel our podcast.
Oh my God, he's gonna get in his penis-shaped rocket and he's gonna take off. I feel like that's a good place to wrap up before we get totally taken off YouTube. Take our little life tricks and hacks as you will. Jonah, I would just had this thought real quick, and I want to close on this. Unless did you have something else you wanted to make sure you touched on before we wrap up?
I don't think I have anything left. So go ahead.
Okay. I want to wrap up on this, and this is it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm literally gonna say this. I'm just gonna end the episode, so be prepared to say something. Someday, years from now, when we are very successful and famous, and we have all these accolades, and our music is well known, and we have these huge fan bases, so many things that we have said, especially me, probably mostly me, is going to come back and resurface, and is going to cause so much controversy.
Yeah, yep, that is gonna happen. But that's a problem for another day.
Yes. So until then, bye.